Hi, guys. It's me. I'm just going to wait for a couple people to hop on. I hope they do this time. Um, Thank you, everybody that watched the last live, even though you didn't while it was live, but that's okay. They count as views. So I thank all of you for that. I would love to have people actually on the live so that I can answer questions because people always have questions, and you should, especially if you're thinking about um, honing your abilities or becoming aware of your abilities, or even what are your abilities, all that kind of stuff. My belief is that we all have abilities. Um, you know, Source gave us these abilities. He gave us the five senses, and then he gave us some extra because, let's face it, living's hard in human body. It's not an easy thing. Um, Coming from, as I believe, and, again, I'm not trying to make anybody believe anything. Um, Coming from, as I believe, a, I forgot what I was going to say. No, now I remember. Coming from a, hey, who's on? If you just say hi, I'll know who it is. You can chat and I can see it. I figured it out because, yeah, I'm very smart. No, that's not it. I looked up a lot of YouTube stuff. So there you go. So just say hi and then I'll know who's on with me or who's watching. Okay. So just in the chat box, little hi. I appreciate it. Anyway, for those of you that are trying to become part of us, it's my Anna. Hi, sweet girl. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. So, like I said, so those of us who are trying to or attempting to understand or even acknowledge, that's the best word, acknowledge your abilities, because, like I said, I believe everybody has them. Um, this is a perfect time to ask questions. I can't guarantee that I'll have an answer that you like, but I will definitely give you the best answer that I can between myself and my guides. Um, I've been doing this now for, it's going on 9 years, I think. Um, and professionally, probably 5 years. Sounds about right. Um, and it's been life changing. It's been amazing. Um, it's been eye opening. Um, and I just love the fact that everyone that I meet who is tuned in, it's just like, oh, there you are. Where have you been? It's kind of like old friends time. It's really awesome. It really is. I love that. So anyway, today I thought we would talk about intuition and why it is that it's downplayed, that people don't really think it's valid. Um, you know, they've talked about mother's intuition for years, but it's not just mothers who have intuition. We know that we have maybe a little heightened sense of when a child is in the ether getting hurt, but everybody's got intuition. Uh, Science would call it instinct, I guess. Um, but I look at it as more of an intuition because there are things that we know that we probably shouldn't know. And situations that maybe we can solve that somebody else couldn't, simply because they don't have the same perspective that you do. So, intuition and perspective and perception, they all kind of work together. You could have a perception about something. Let's say your perception about a restaurant. We're just going to use a restaurant. Okay, your perception about a restaurant is going to be off of what other people have said, maybe ads that you've seen. You may have looked it up online and seen pictures and read the menus and read reviews, things like that. Um, that's perspective. But then when you walk in, sit down, and actually experience the restaurant, that's perception, not perspective. It's perception because now you're coming at it through your own awareness and experience instead of depending on what other people have said, written about, told you, but you come to it from your own perception. So that's the difference. Perception and perspective are very different. And as long as you use your perception, no one's going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. As long as you're using your perception to look at the world, you're not going to see where change needs to be. When you use perspective to see the world, which means looking at it from like a third person point of view, not through your own eyes, then you can see where things need to be tweaked without that personal, emotional connection that we have with perspective. I hope that made sense. So intuition, how does intuition fit into it? Well, intuition simply means that you're trusting yourself, you're trusting that we are part of something that's bigger, and that we are being helped when we need it, when we ask for it, when we allow it. And I don't know what I was going to say. And using all of those tools, your perception, your perspective, right? Perspective of others. Also, you're listening to what is being like radioed out to you. That's a good way to put it. Right, Anna? It's kind of like comes out in waves sometimes. And being open and alert to that and how it works in the situation that you're in. And putting those together. That I think is intuition. It sounds hard, right? It really does. It sounds like, well, that's a lot of stuff to do, but we do it in like a millisecond, even quicker, because all of that stuff works together, the intuition and the perspective and the perception, and it all works together so quickly. And we can't really take credit for that. That I have to give credit to Source, because Source figured all that out way before we were even here. So yeah. So why is it that people don't want to trust their intuition? I meet a lot of people that, they said, I didn't think it was a good idea, but I did it anyway, and it wasn't a good idea. Yeah, I remember I think it was a morality exercise or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was about if an elevator door opens and there is a person there of a different color or race than you, and you have a feeling come over you that I should not get on that elevator. But then there's that part of you that says, well, if I don't, people are going to think I'm racist. Okay, but here's the thing. If you do and you get killed, does it matter if they thought you were racist? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's clear enough. Trust your intuition, your instincts. It doesn't matter who that person is, but in our perception, we don't want to like hurt toes. We don't want to step on anybody. We don't want to seem one way or the other. Intuition don't give a shit about that. Just saying. That that that's not even in the equation. Okay? It's our human conditioning that will stop us a lot of times from doing things that we know we should be doing, but because we're not trusting our instincts or our I just lost the word, our instincts or our intuition. And I don't think we're really taught as young people to go by intuition. And I think it's mainly because when you're young, your intuition says, fly, be free, go wherever you want to go, run your little feet off and roll in the grass. And your parents are like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll make a mess. You'll kill yourself, whatever. And and we grew up hearing no, 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 and it becomes our mantra, right? Yeah. This isn't appropriate, or don't do that because the consequences, you might get dirty. Well, who cares? That's why they made showers, washing machines. Um, but these are the things that we learn. These are the things that are instilled into us. And I think it has done a lot. Like, stop saying think, okay. It's done a lot of damage to the spiritual intuitional part of each being on this planet. That was a lot to say, wasn't it? Was a lot to say. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Maybe I'm wrong. I've never claimed to be right about everything, except to my husband. To him, I'm right about everything. Just know that. But not to you guys. Because, I'm flying blind like most of you. Just because I've become aware of more things around me and opened up to be able to channel doesn't mean I know everything. It doesn't mean I have all the answers. I still don't know the mysteries of the universe, and I hope that I don't while I'm human. Honestly, maybe even when well, I guess if I'm back with Source, I'll know it all. But I don't want to know it now, because if there's no mystery in my life, oh gosh, it's going to be so boring, right? I want that mystery. I want that thing that seems miraculous. I want that, and to go through life not having that, I think is really sad. I don't know. I think it would take away. It would be like, what is it that I am? What am I excited about? What's coming up? What am I working for, working toward? What's around the bend? If we know everything around the bend, there's no excitement. There's no discovery. And to me, that is just boring. So boring. I can't stand it. I don't want to be bored. I don't want to be bored in life. I want to discover something new each and every day. If I could, each minute of every day, that would be great. My head would probably explode, but it would still be great. But I try to learn something new each and every day. And boy, we got off of intuition pretty quick, but that's okay. Actually, we didn't. It all works together. You're right. um, it all works together. But yeah, to know everything, there's no, to me, to my train of thought, to my idea, knowing everything would be like, well, then what's left? So, what's left? Boring. Yeah. That I that that would be like terrible to me. I don't know about to you. I'm not even sure what we're talking about now. So, Well, Anna, as you're my only guest, do you have a question for me? Anything. I would love it. Just make something up, girl. Let me see. I'm going to look stuff up in my phone. See, you guys think I can't talk for a long time, but you're wrong. I can. Let's look up paranormal stuff and see what topic I can come up with. Let's see. Ooh, I should do paranormal. Wait, give me a sec. I'm typing. I don't type real good. So, yeah, it's not helping me. So, we could talk about that. That's an idea. Okay. All right. Let's talk about how, that's a good thing. Yeah, I again, I'm no expert, but is my talk going to do well and will it lead to more stuff? Okay. My Anna. So I can put this up. And here we go. There we go. So now it's up. Okay, let's see. I do believe your talk. I don't just believe, but your guides believe that your talk is going to go very well, and that it could be a stepping stone for you. I'm seeing because those of you who are coming on and watching. Oh, who else is on? There's a second person. Just say hi in the comments so I know who it is. But I'm going out to visit Anna next week. And I see it opening a whole bunch of opportunities for both of us. So I'm pretty excited. And I think you doing the talk, because you're doing the talk after we're there, right? Yes, you are. I know you are. So yeah, I think it's a kind of reiteration and stuff. I think it's going to be, yeah. I'll know more when I get there and I'm in the space, but I don't see anything bad, sad, or indifferent coming out of it. I just see growth. Ooh, that's exciting. I hope it's for both of us. And if it's not for me, I hope it's for you. But I do see growth because that's exciting. That's very exciting. So I'm answering questions. Anna just asked me a question. I hope I answered it, honey. But I think it's going to go real well. And I do think it's going to lead to, you better sharpen up your speaking skills. That's what I'm thinking. Because you're a very good speaker. She's spoken for the Tree Tribe before, and it was wonderful. You thought I forgot, but I don't forget things. Well, it's not really true. I forget lots of stuff. So, second person on. If you'd like to ask a question, feel free. Type it in chat, and I'll see it, and I'll do my best to answer it between me and my guides. We were talking about intuition. I don't know what that's going to lead to. I think it's going to lead to something else. What we're going to talk about? Yes, we were going to talk about, and again, I'm not an expert on this, but let's talk about the way the paranormal field. Don't be a shut-in, my love. We're talking about the way the paranormal field has changed over the years. That's a good thing. And this is, I really want your feedback on this. I want you guys to answer me. How do you see that it's changed? Now, when I think of Victorian paranormal stuff, it's, it was the seances with the ectoplasm being expelled from the mouth and the trumpets and the bells, table knocking, all that stuff. Most of which, as most of us know, was just gimmicky. It wasn't real. It was used to make people feel that they were connected. I'm not saying that none of them actually connected. They very well could have. But when you connect, there's very little physical stuff to prove it. When I'm channeling, it's not like my face changes or my voice changes or I start going in a weird, there's none of that. It's just words that are given for me to say, and it can be either auditory. Sometimes I read it. Sometimes it's just implanted and that's the fun stuff, really. That's the stuff that I don't even know I said until after it's all over, and that's pretty cool. That's neat when that happens. Usually it's a guide that'll do that, or an angel. Angels can slip in real easy. So should we? Okay. They want to talk about angels for a second. Angels aren't what you think. And they're not what is ascribed in the Bible. Remember when we were talking about perception and perspective? You have to remember that everything in the Bible is written from the perspective of the writer. Just what it is. And if they're writing out of fear, that's what you're going to get. If they're writing out of joy, that's what you're going to get. So please know that I can't tell you what angels look like, because angels will look like what you want them to look like. They'll take on the countenance that you would be, I'm not going to say most enjoyed with, but that you would understand or recognize as an angel. And they will pop in a lot. You hear all the time, oh, you're such an angel, right? People say you're such an angel. But in a couple times in my lifetime, and I can't hone in on them specifically, honestly, but I do know that there have been people that have been angels to me and they didn't even know it. That's because it wasn't really them. It was the angel that came in, said whatever it said, and left. I don't even know how to tell you what angels and archangels are, because they're so different from people, and they're so different from energies that have lived a life and then transitioned. Angels haven't lived a life, not in a physical sense. They never have. I can't say they never will, but I don't think that's why they were created. I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't know too much, to be honest with you. I do know that they were created just as we were created. Okay, that's what I know. But there's a lot of other beings in not just in the universe and dimensions. And yeah, we're getting really out there now, guys, but that's where it goes sometimes. There's a lot of other beings, living beings in a physical form, and there's a lot of other beings that are not physical as well. So I don't know where I'm going with this, honestly. But I do want to say, yeah, like what angels look like. Okay. So how do I know I'm talking to an angel and not blah, 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 blah? Well, they usually will identify themselves. If it's an angel, they'll identify themselves and usually tell me their name. Not always. Sometimes they tell me their name in some kind of different, I'm not going to say language, soundscape that I can't duplicate. Just can't do it. I don't have the whatever they have to do that. So if sometimes I just don't know the name or I can't say the name. Usually is more like it. And I have a wonderful group. Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to put this up. So I have I forgot where I was going. I do this, spiritual ADHD. It's a wonderful thing. We're just going to go to the question because I was just blabbering on. Okay. Are there such things as soul groups, and do they watch over the living? Ooh, that's a good question. Do they give you signs that they are watching over you? Yeah, they do give signs. I don't see soul groups as like a group that watches over us. I see a soul group, or as my sister wife calls it, circle of souls. And we have been together in many, many different lifetimes, not in the same order. I could be a daughter, or I could be a father, or I could be a brother or sister or whatever in other lifetimes within this circle of souls. We're not always close in every lifetime. And sometimes we're not in every lifetime, but there is a definite circle of souls. So if that's what you're talking about, yes. Do they watch over the living? Some do, some don't. Yeah, very rarely. I'm not saying never, because again, I don't know. But very rarely will one who has departed from you become your guide. That will rarely happen. Um, but one who has departed from you, absolutely yes, they will give you a sign. Will you recognize it? I don't know. I don't know. This is where intuition comes in. This is where being open comes in. This is where seeing with more than just your eyeballs comes in, right? So, yeah, they absolutely do give signs. The common signs: butterflies, birds, stuff in clouds, something appearing out of nowhere. Um, you know, the other day, I think it was yesterday, called somebody by a nickname that her mom used to call her. I didn't know it, but she knew it. So if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Ancestral souls that are your ancestors. That's that's another day. We'll talk about that another time. We're getting off on too many tangents here, and it's already a half an hour. So, anyway, so that's how I see soul groups. But if there's one or two or three in the group that aren't reincarnated at the same time I am, or the same time you are, they could come check on us. Absolutely. They could come check on us. And, a lot of times we dream about people that we know, but we don't know them. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's see. previous owner of our house, except that she said it was my dad. Ooh, okay. Um, if you don't feel it's your dad, then it probably isn't. I can tell you that. Um, and a lot of times, and I had one a couple months ago. Um, Sometimes, if you are open and aware and working with energy, a passing soul may just pop in for a little while, just to, hey, how you doing? I'm here. They may have something to tell you. They may not. They may just be curious as to what kind of light is in here. We when we do this, we exude a certain energy field that it's like a beacon. It's a light, and um, souls can stop in and go, what is that? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, great. All right, I'm going on to whatever. Um, but I have to say, if you don't feel that it was your dad, it probably isn't. Um, and I don't ascribe to the belief that a ghost uh, is trapped within one place. Um, I think they can go anywhere they want. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a previous owner of the house. It could be somebody that came and visited and loved the place. It could be, again, somebody who just walked in and was like, oh, this is a pretty cool place. Think I'll stay for a while. Um, Spiritual squatters. Um, I can't give you a lot more than that without knowing more and feeling the area myself, to be honest with you. But I would have to say that usually loved ones, if it's a loved one, see, here come my perceptions, people, because I don't have a good relationship with my father. So if he was, coming to see me after death, I'd be trying to move him along. So, okay. Alrighty. I'm going to show it. Is that okay, freestyle? Because I love these questions. Felt like it might be him. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story, which you'll relate to. The first apartment John and I had, we had a spirit. Now, I was not a big believer, but just like you, a little startling. It's not like it never felt bad. It would sit on the bed, and I would think my husband was home. Then I'd turn over talking to him, and there was no one there. Um, I'd be ironing. Stuff I don't do anymore. Thank you very much. But I would be ironing his shirts, and I would feel somebody come up behind me. I mean, you turn around, there's nobody there. I'm like, finally, I named the spirit Francis because I figured that works if it's a girl or a boy. And it gave me something to talk to. So I said to Francis, I don't mind that you're here. Just don't scare me. A man's head and shoulders. Oh, this is getting juicy. Leaned in and looked at me when. Oh, cool. So this may be a watcher. That's what I call them. I don't know if that's accurate, but it is for me. I'm going to take a sip. And I had a watcher when I was a kid. And they're not really there for good or bad, and they just watch. And I kind of think that they're there to report back whether or not we're doing what we're supposed to do. Not so much report back, but just see, and maybe to remind us that there's something we need to get done. But they don't really interfere. They'll look at you. If it's something that's interfering, it may be something other than a watcher. Watchers don't do anything except watch. That's all they do. And it can be, when you don't know what you're looking at, it can be very scary. It's blacker than the blackest black, is what I would say when I've seen a watcher. And I don't mind that they're watching. Okay. Oh my goodness, somebody's getting your attention. Oh my goodness. So Freestyle says, I was brushing my teeth and saw the reflection in my mirror, and I ran out to see who it was. Toothbrush in my mouth. Nothing there. Yeah, that happens quite a bit. Yeah. Um, I don't know who it is, honey. I wish I knew for you, but I don't. Like I said, it could be a watcher. You think maybe it could be your dad. Um, if it's not causing you any problem, and if you don't mind it being there, that's fine. If you would like it to move along, just tell it, this isn't working out for us. I think maybe you need to just move along. And, but don't. I found once you demand things of transitioned, they don't take it too well, unless you've known them a very long time. But they really don't take being demanded and pushed around very well. Cool. All right. Well, if it's your dad and you want him there, great. Again, if it's your dad and you don't want him there, kindly ask them to leave. And the intent has to be agreed between your head and your heart that you want this entity to leave. And if that is the case, if your intent is pure, not pure, in agreement, if that your intent is in agreement and you ask them to leave, especially if it's your dad, they would go. But if you don't mind them staying there, tell them. Just tell them. Believe me, it's not hey, Dad, if it's you, great. Just stop scaring me. I don't like it. And if not, whoever it is, please stop scaring me. I don't like being scared, but I don't mind sharing space. Unless you do mind sharing space. I won't presume to know. If you do mind sharing space, then you want to politely ask them to leave. And that's my best advice for you on that matter. I see I have a third person. So, yeah, please ask a question. Ask away. I love questions. I love interacting. Otherwise, I just talk, and then talk some more. Then we'll talk over here and talk over there. I'll tell you about my experience yesterday if you want to hear. I did the Ascension Psychic Fair yesterday, and it was so much fun. And my table was where they were doing all the presentations, which was really cool because usually I don't get to see the presentations. And there were two different sound practitioners. Very different. I mean, they both used quartz crystal singing bowls, but they used other things as well. One of them used their voice beautifully, like singing into the bowls. It was so pretty. And another lady was using chimes and all kinds of rattles. And my favorite, the ocean drum. And it was just so lovely. It really was. I really didn't get a chance to relax and listen to it because I was doing readings while this was going on. But it was really nice to just be in that energy and feel that love coming off in waves through the sound. It was just wonderful. It really was. I had a lovely, lovely time at that fair. I actually had people waiting for me to do readings, which was surprising. Very cool. I really enjoyed it. And get this, I only spent what I made. Well, if you don't count what it cost for me to be there. Yeah. But what I took in is what I paid in, stones and bracelets. And yeah, who can go to a fair and not buy anything? That's just outrageous. No one does that. No one. So yeah, so I had a lovely time. It was the Ascension Psychic Fair. It was over at the London Bridge Shops in Virginia Beach. It was just at Grow Depot, and it was just so much fun. And you walk in to Grow Depot, and you're like, and for me, that smell is just, it smells so much like sage to me. It really does. It smells a lot like sage. So I was loving it. Oh, it was smelling so good. It was smelling really good. And my husband walks in and goes, ugh, he doesn't like sage. He doesn't like smell marijuana either. So, wasn't his cup of tea. But to me, it smelled really good. And it was just a nice, nice day. I really enjoyed it. Met a lot of cool people. And are you ready? There were 3 Stephanies there. And each and every one of us was wearing purple. Yes. Yes. Because we're awesome. Stephanies are amazing, right? Woo, 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 woo. We're all amazing, amazing people, Stephanies. So, yeah, so I can't wait to group up with these people again. It should be a lot of fun, the next one. I think there's going to be one in the spring. Or is this the spring one? One in the fall, right? Yeah. Annie, you don't like the smell of sage either. I never did in the beginning, but now I like it. Of course, my favorite will always be Palo Santo. If you're not familiar with Palo Santo, uh, it's a wood. I'm guessing it's from South America since it's Palo Santo, and it smells so good when you burn it. It's like a fresh, clean burn smell. It's really, really nice. I enjoy the heck out of it. I can tell you that. And that's what I use when I smudge. And I usually smudge just to um, uh, discharge the energy. In other words, neutralize it. Because when I'm in my practice room, I love my practice room. Um, but I don't know if you guys have figured it out. I know Anna has, but I don't know if the rest of you have. But I have some pretty strong energy, and it lingers. So when I'm doing a reading, I'm going to be doing something online. I have to neutralize the energy so that mine doesn't overcome the person that's getting read. If I think that makes sense, it sounds a little conceited. I think it's not. It's. I understand that I have some overwhelming energy. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know, but yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. 9 years to grow. Oh, well, I have some, and if you want me to bring some to Las Vegas, I will. Um, yeah, I have a bag of it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, so that's anything else. We're getting up on the 45-minute mark. Ooh. Any other questions? Anything. I'll answer anything. If I don't know it, I'll make it up. You know, yeah. We'll just make up words, throw them out there, see what happens. You know. So, oh, this is good. I did a reading yesterday, and I usually when I do a reading, um, I will I'll breathe with the client. I'll ask permission, and then I'll say a prayer. And one lady's was not real happy that I was saying a prayer, but it's not your typical, you know, Catholic prayer, Christian prayer, Hebrew prayer, whatever. It's more of a It's more a calling in of energies to help with the reading. I just say prayer because it's easy to say, right? I'm going to say a prayer instead of saying I'm going to say a meditation or I'm going to say a manifestation. If I say I'm going to say a prayer, people know what I mean. Makes sense, right? Okay. So anyway, so she had a problem with that. So I thought, it's really good to talk about the fact that terms can be off-putting to some clients, not because, oh, I love you too, Anna. Not because, uh, not because of what the word actually means or what it's meant to mean. It's because of, again, we're getting back to that perception, that person's perception of that particular term. Um, so when we speak our truth, let's just go right there. Yeah, I hear you. When we speak our truth, we are in fact speaking our truth. Okay? I'm not trying to convince anybody else of my truth. This is my truth. You may find bits and pieces that you agree with, and you might find bits and pieces that you don't. And that's okay, because this is my truth. This is my belief system. This is how I honor living and achieving purpose in this lifetime. What can happen a lot of times, and I'm just putting this out there, I don't know why, I guess somebody out there needs to hear it. What happens in the business of metaphysical, paranormal, psychic reading stuff? A lot of times what happens is you get, and I've fallen into the trap myself, you get the psychic who says, I need you to do this so that this will happen. Oh, excuse me. I'm just, please know that when we say, I need you to do this, that's not an accurate way of speaking. And that's not how we're being told. It is simply our humanistic part coming out. All right. And if somebody is telling you you need to do this in order to do this, and they really say that, you might be careful, because no one can take away anybody's free will. If you come to me and say, I want you to, I don't know. Oh, I want you to tell me if that's a good one too. Thank you. I want you to tell if my sister is happy in heaven. I get a lot of those things. First of all, I can't call on your sister. Your sister doesn't know me from a hole in the ground. Okay. I can't say I call on the spirit of, I don't do invocations to particular spirits. I open myself with my prayer. That is their signal that they may come in should they wish to. Okay. And the other thing is that not every transitioned being is going to use me to talk for them. That's just the simple fact. There are some people that perhaps the way they talk I wouldn't appreciate, and I wouldn't want them talking for me. Again, they don't know me. After 20, 30 minutes of me talking to the client, they may say, oh yeah, okay, she's good. She can give them the message. She'll give it to them the right way. But don't expect to sit down and have some psychic medium tell you, oh, your sister Sarah's here. She says that that she's doing fine or something. I would be suspicious. I would be suspicious. Wait a minute. Freestyle, you said you saved your house twice? Okay, great. I was hoping that's what you said. Okay. But you have to sage it with the intent, girl or boy. I don't know if you're a girl or boy. You have to sage it with the intent. Head and heart, they have to match. And again, If you're trying to kick out somebody who don't want to leave, yeah, Sage ain't going to get them out. Just won't. Anyway, what we're talking about? Oh, darn. Because that was good. We were on a good line there. Oh, yes. If you walk in and somebody's telling you right away that so and so is here, I would not really. That would be a tough one. That would be a tough one. Um, I don't know if I would trust that person, honestly. Not that, I mean, it could happen, I suppose, right? I don't know what could happen. That's the thing, But I just know that I can't call down, I can, let me rephrase that. I can call on my mother and usually she'll come, right? Hi, Ma. Like now. Um, I don't know if I could call on Danny and have him come. Yes, I can. Um, but these are people that I have a relationship with. These are people that I know. Yes. Yes, Danny, we have a relationship, but it's not that kind of relationship. Yes, darling. And you know that. So we so we have a relationship, and therefore when I put a call out to them, much like when you make a phone call and somebody answers and it's somebody who knows you, right? You're like, oh, hi, how are you? It's a long time no see, whatever. But when you get a wrong number, very rarely do people have conversations with wrong numbers, like they've known each other for years. I mean, it's, unless you're a comedian, I imagine they do that because that would be pretty funny. I'm just thinking that would be pretty funny to do. However, it's the same, it's the same concept. They're not going to use me to talk if they don't trust what I'm going to say. And I don't blame them. I agree with that 100%. If you don't know that I will give the information correctly, then don't give me the information. And that's fine. I'm not the psychic for every person. That's why there's so many of us. Because we all have different ways that we get information and relay information. Just like the way people talk in living areas. Some people talk really well, some people maybe stutter, other people they just don't want to talk. So, yeah, why would it be different, honestly? Why all of a sudden you transition and you're like, if you never like to talk, I don't think you're going to like to talk after you've transitioned. I only want to talk when I have something to say. Cool. Guess what? Sister Sarah may not have anything to tell you. So, just saying. She might be like, oh, wow, leave me alone. I'm doing stuff. No, you don't know. So, anyway, I'm about ready to wrap this up. If anybody else has some questiones they would like to ask. Questiones. And is that how you say it in I don't think it is. But it sounds good. It sounds good. Yeah. Okay. If that's everything and everybody, thank you so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun. I guess you saw that I'm now using StreamYard. It's so much easier. It really is. It's so much easier to use than just straight YouTube. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm sorry about the clouds going in and out. And 1 minute I'm nice and shiny and the next I'm not so. But that's weather and I can't control that. Never been able to. It's not what I can do. So, but thank you for coming on. Thank you for everybody who made a comment. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped. Freestyle can always get in touch with me. You can private message me on Facebook if you like. Private message me or message me on here. I don't know how to do that on YouTube, but I'm sure there's a way. If you want more information, we can talk some more. All right, guys, it was great. I'm gonna go eat some spaghetti with my hubby, and you guys, you live blessed, and thank you for coming on. Mwah! Love you all. Bye now.